What is up, guys? Welcome. All right, just giving a few minutes for letting some people trickle in. Hope everybody's having a good day. If you are watching this after the fact, what's up, Soul? Scorpion, what's going on? How's y'all Saturdays going today? Mine's been pretty chill. Kind of toasty down here in Florida. It was like freezing the last few weeks, and now it's like all back to being humid. So, all right. So we're gonna check out. Obviously, you guys know how the show goes. We're gonna definitely look at the full spectrum of the market. Milady being the number one thing that we're gonna be checking out, obviously, but we are gonna be looking at the whole market. Milady looks like, we definitely broke under. A little cold in Cali, nice. You guys have been dealing with a lot of storms. I saw a lot of storms coming in from the Pacific. Hope everything's okay over there. So for Milady, real quick, just jumping in. Let's see here. So it looks like last night we bottomed at around 52. After the stream, we did see this, nothing crazy, but we did see a nice red candle. Definitely dipped down under the channel, but you can see we quickly or eventually trickled right back into the channel. We are at the bottom of this channel, right? So if you guys remember yesterday, I was pretty much saying anything that's at the bottom of this channel or breaking out under the channel is going to be a buy for myself. So pretty much anything that's under this 55 mark is going to be a buy for me personally, where I'm just going to continue to add to my bag. Di, what's up, brother, man? How are you doing? Real quick, while you guys are in, before we get this started, the party started, make sure you guys hit that like. We're going to definitely get this going here. So just a couple of things I do want to go over today. First things first, Bitcoin. Checking out Bitcoin. We are sitting at around 43,900, right under that 43,000 mark. We are still just like, we know that we're like days away from this kind of this announcement if we're going to get approved for this ETF. And it's just one of those times where the market wants to rally, but at the same time, there's a lot of people caution, with the fact that there could be a big possibility that, the ETF does not get approved, right? Because it's happened multiple times where, it looks like everything's going, towards the approval side, right? And then it's like, nope, it gets denied. So I think that's what's going on with the markets right now. There's just right now there's a lot of people that are just cautious. They don't know if they want to put their money into the market right now or if they want to wait, because we covered last night. There's a couple articles out there. There is, it's like half and half right now, where you have a lot of people claiming that we're going to really see a big pump. ETFs are going to bring a lot of money coming in. And then you have the other half saying that this is probably going to be either we're going to get denied, right? Or this is going to be a real big sell the news kind of event. And we might pump up a little bit, but we might see a big sell off, But regardless, we're just here looking at the charts, and it's like, I really just want to get this ETF stuff passed, right? Either we get approved or we don't get approved, right? Because we have so much stuff lined up for crypto for this year that it's just like, if we could just get past all this, like this craziness with the ETFs, we can kind of naturally do what we need to do, right? We have the halving coming up. We have interest rates coming up. We have other things going on in 2024, like an election, stuff like that usually tends to be good for the markets, right? So right now, it might seem like we're in this abyss of just boringness, right? But regardless, you guys know how crypto is. We maybe get like a week of where we're just sideways action, and then eventually something's going to give, and we're going to pop either towards the upside or the downside, right? It just always happens. It always happens. And I'm happy either or, because I will continue to keep buying. If we drop down, we see these flash crashes, or if we start moving up, and start making new highs for Bitcoin and for Milady, I'll be happy because I'm sitting, I've been just dollar cost averaging in, right? As I'm sure every single one of you guys have been. So let's see here. So Crypto Law said it's snowing now in New York. Nice, bro. That's awesome. I don't know. I mean, is that a good thing? Who knows, right? I know too much snow can be shuts everything down, but it's winter, so it's to be expected, right? So Dai was saying people are so impatient, and he's coming through with the facts over here saying we're not even in altcoin season, and people want pumps. Dai, listen. One thing about people with crypto, they have very little patience, and that's why you see a lot of people that that'll just buy in a lot of times on stuff that's pumping, because almost it's like the thrill, right? They just want the thrill. They want the thrill. They want to buy in on something that's moving, just so much volatility, right? So much pump, so much volatility, So whenever they see a project like something, a project that's not really doing much, they don't really care about it, right? But that's the time when you're supposed to be buying in on, is on projects that people are like basically sleeping over. They're not really worried about it, and it's sitting on the back burner, right? Those are the projects. That's when you want to get into a lot of these projects, because when it's pumping, we'll hand our whatever we have, our investments, over to these people that want to pay more. They want to pay high, grab it when it's pumping. Perfectly fine with me. I will literally sell it to them when we're up 100, 200x, right? So could care less about that. But you know what? That's the difference between most of us in here, or if not all of us, and you have the retail investors, right? All these people that are probably going to watch these videos 6 months from now, a year from now, and they're going to be like, how did I not know about all this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about Milady particularly, and it happens every time. And people are going to be commenting, I'm going to, like, a year later on some of these videos, because they do it now. They were doing it when we were pumping, though it'll pop up on my end, someone's commenting on some videos that were like 8 months old, and I'm just like, dude, we've been sitting here screaming to the hills, Milady, this is going to be the top meme coin, if not the top, one of the top meme coins, right? One of the top meme coins. So real quick, covering a couple of things that you guys know. Milady, particularly, market cap sitting at around $41 million. We are down technically 2% as of yesterday. Volume is down. I'll tell you this right now. The volume is down the most I've seen it in the last probably 4 weeks. Honestly, the last 4 weeks, I have not seen the volume this low. And you can't say this is just a Milady thing, because look at the volume for the whole crypto market. Down 35% in 24-hour volume. So you can just see it across the board that there's just not a lot of money. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines pretty much right now, or they're waiting to get in because of this ETF crap going on, right? Or they're like a lot of us, where we've already been buying and buying and buying in. It's a lot of us are already pretty much sitting solid on a lot of our projects, right? The market's really not doing much today, so I don't really see a lot of people buying the dip, because there's really not much of a dip. We're only down 2% from yesterday. So, that's what you pretty much have for today. It's a Saturday. It's the weekend, and I think if we didn't have this particular ETF thing kind of hanging over our heads, I think we would see a lot more volume, and probably we would most likely, I think we would probably be higher than where we would be at right now. Honestly, I really do. I think, because think about it, a few days ago, Bitcoin, we were pretty much right around this area, right? We saw this massive run up, and you can say this was because of the ETF, but honestly, we were already forming a descending triangle, or what I've been saying was a bull flag. So eventually, I was already predicting we were going to see some kind of a breakout. So honestly, I think without the ETF, we probably would have saw this breakout. Most likely, we probably would not have seen this massive sell-off that happened right after us making these highs right here. Because remember, the FUD came out, released that the ETFs were not approved, right? So honestly, I'm about over the whole freaking ETF thing. I really am. I know long term it's going to be a good thing for crypto, but it's just like they need to just release it and let's get past it, because it's just making the market like just go null. The market's literally, the whole market's just like right now, everybody's kind of just sitting and waiting pretty much, right? And now let's check out a couple bigger projects to see what the hell is going on. I always pull up Solana, and you can see even Solana. Look at Solana. Still sitting up high at $94, right? But topping out right here at the 126. Since then, it's kind of just been on not a downward move, but you can see that it has been cooling off relatively, right? Now, one thing that's not cooling off is Solana's DeFi system, or DeFi ecosystem. That's one thing that is not cooling off at all. That thing is going freaking nuts. Going nuts. So let's hear. Soul said he's finally joined the Billy Club on Milady and bought the dip at 52. Nice. There you go, brother. And Dai was saying, people forget Milady only started in 2023 during the bear market, and we already show what we can do. That's a good point, Dai. That's another thing that I always tell people, is I always bring it up. You know, Milady, it really was. It started off in the middle of a deep bear market, right? And in the middle of a deep bear market, and for it really to just be able to survive, and honestly, the movement that we've had has been really great. Honestly, I'm glad, you know, that we did start off in the bear market, because it really shows you that this project is here to stay for the most part, you know. And when we get into a bear market, who knows what this thing's capable of doing, right? Who knows where we're going to end up being in a bull market, because Milady hasn't even seen a bull market. It saw a small little piece of what we would call a preview of what's going to happen during the bull market, but we technically have not seen a full-blown bull market yet. And just like Dai also said, we haven't even seen altcoin season start yet. Wait until altcoin season starts. That's when you guys are going to just be like blown away, if you haven't already experienced that, where, I mean, your favorite projects that are altcoins are going to be going nuts. I mean, up 70-80% days after day after day, just continuing, right? These are the altcoins. Now, looking, obviously we have massive, the volume for Milady has just been so massively drawn down for today, so nothing crazy, right? The buys to sell for Gate.io, which is the bigger volume exchange, is still showing us that the sellers are in control right now, right? They're in control temporarily with 86% sales and about 14% buys. That's perfectly fine, giving everybody an opportunity to continue to DCA and just continue to add to your bag, right? That's what a lot of us have been doing. And looking at the whale wallets, let's see exactly what's going on. So remember, this is all 2 days old, right? So we're looking at the 4th, and you can see whale wallets has not decreased. It's pretty much stayed the same at around 41 whale wallets, which, just to explain, the threshold for a whale wallet would be anything over $100,000, right? So we have 41 whale wallets. Probably 10 of them, 10 to 12, are probably going to be your exchanges that are holding multi-million dollars. And also, if we go to the actual whale holdings, as of the 4th, it has trickled down just a little hair. I mean, you can see back on the 1st, New Year's, we were at 666 trillion. And as we moved down to 660. And as of today, as of the 4th, we have dropped down to about 659. But remember, the 4th was, I believe, when we saw this dramatic candle form. Yep. Oh, this was the 3rd. Okay, I'm sorry. So the 3rd is when we saw this dramatic candle. So it's almost like it was still in that rebound kind of mode. So all this information that we're seeing is really just going to be from that whole drop and everything like that. As far as with the whale wallets, we were kind of anticipating that we were going to see some whale holdings and whale wallets decrease for sure. So, but for right now, like I keep telling you guys, very, very boring market for today, right? Nothing major is going on. People are probably having on YouTube, I'm seeing they're like trying to draw in anybody to come into their channel. Well, ETF approved. Countdown to ETF. You know, it's because there's nothing going on today. There's nothing really going on. Let me know, guys, any projects that you guys have seen like that's like doing good today. You guys let me know. We'll look on CoinMarketCap as far as the top 100 coins, and we can see last night, if you guys caught the live, this was a sea of red, right? Everything was just literally in red. It wasn't like it was, the market had crashed or anything like that, but everything was like down a few percent, right? But you can see Bitcoin up for the hour, up for 24 hours, and definitely up for the 3 days. And just scrolling through, looking at a couple other projects, really all I see is about the same thing. Nothing's up really too much. You might have a few percent up here, few percent down there. Injective looking actually probably one of the better coins right here. At it's up 7% for the week and up 2% for the hour. So Injective has been looking pretty good recently in the last like month. It's one of the projects that's definitely been holding, but really just scrolling through, I mean, I am literally looking, we're down towards the 100 mark of the top 100 cryptos per market cap, and really nothing is going on, guys. It's so boring out there, right? It is literally boring. It looks like Bunk's up about 4%. Let's go check out what old Bunk's doing. But while I'm pulling that up, let's see here. Sorry, guys, I'm not looking at the chat, but let's see here. Bitcoin dominance is doing a bearish cross. Is it really? Oh, crap. Another thing, too, is look at Bitcoin's dominance. Remember, we've been mapping this out, too. Thank you for reminding me, Dai. We've been mapping this out. Remember, I said as we get closer to this ETF approval, and if we do get approved, I already was calling it. This was back probably about 5 or 6 days ago. We were at around 49.9%, and I was like, this thing's going to start, the Bitcoin dominance is for sure going to start moving up, right? So we have been slowly every day trickling up. It hasn't been nothing crazy, but we're at 52.1% Bitcoin dominance. That means all the money, market cap right now, for the whole market cap, for the whole crypto market is at 1.65 trillion, right? That means 52.1% of all that market cap is literally in Bitcoin solely. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to continue to move up as we get out closer to this week that we're in, because the deadline is this week. They are going to tell us if it was accepted or declined, right? And I think as we keep getting closer, but we don't have the actual confirmation yet, Bitcoin dominance is going to continue, and that's why you might see some of the altcoins just staying stagnant or maybe coming down a little bit, because you're going to see people that are going to be pulling from some of these altcoins. Probably more the majority, the bigger altcoins, you're going to see them maybe get affected a little bit. And I'm not saying they're going to see any kind of flash crash or anything like that, but maybe go down a few percent as people were going in to Bitcoin with the anticipation of the acceptance of the ETF. So I was calling for a 52.5% Bitcoin dominance. This thing might get close to 53% in this next week. We'll have to see how it goes with that one. But thank you for pointing that out. Flip, what's going on, brother, man? How you doing, bro? Welcome to the channel, guys. If you guys haven't already, make sure we have 22 people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like. Hit the like, guys. Hit the like for the boring crypto market for today, right? We're going to fall asleep over here. And no, if there's any projects that you guys want to check out, just let me know. So Bunk, holy crap, I just realized. Let's pull up the chat. Or I'm sorry, not the chart. The chart for Bunk real quick. Couple of things that I was actually calling out. This was like a week ago, and it looks like it's playing out for Bunk. Let's see here. Not the right chart. Always pull up the wrong Bunk chart, bro. Always. All right, so one thing with Bunk was I was saying, guys, you guys remember, as Bunk was coming down, I was like, just be very cautious with Bunk, because at the time the market cap was at like $1.3 billion, right? And I was just telling everybody, I believe that Bunk in the bull run is probably going to be a big player, right? Because it's backed on the Solana network, the ecosystem. This thing, as long as Solana's thriving, I think most of Solana's ecosystem is going to really thrive, right? So you have a major project like Bunk that's came out, that's on major exchanges, right? Not just on Solana's DeFi, but now you can buy it on major exchanges. This thing's going to be a big player, but I was telling everybody, be very careful, because this thing has shot up so much. And not even that you saw the massive gains, but the market cap was so high. for a real quick move, got up to about $1.5 billion when we were really talking about it was around 1.3. And I was saying just be very careful because this thing has a lot of room to move down. You have a lot of people sitting on profits. And this right here kind of leads to what I was just saying. I wouldn't be surprised that you have a lot of people that are basically, they're selling off on Bunk because they're moving it in over to Bitcoin, most likely, anticipating that there's going to be a big spike for Bitcoin. And another thing, too, is what I pointed out for Bunk was that I wouldn't be surprised if we find some support somewhere around this 10 mark. I could have sworn that I put a support line around here, but I guess I didn't. But around this 10 mark, because you see right here where it basically found support was right at that 99. It gained to 0 and it basically was ate up real fast. You can see now they're hovering right over it again. I think that's where most likely you're going to see a war between the Bunk buys and sells. Is really if it gains that 0 for whatever reason, people want to buy in because it just added a 0, right? It's like a mind thing for them. They think that they're now it just dropped to 0. They're going to get more for their buck, right? Knowing that it's only like 5% away. So I mean, given they're only saving really 5%, even if they bought right now or if they bought when it goes and adds a 0 for that split second, right? But like I keep saying, Bunk, don't think I'm spreading FUD. I think that Bunk's going to be a big player in the game of meme coins whenever we get towards this bull market. But I think for right now, just to be very cautious, even right now, there could still be more pain for Bunk. The market cap still is relatively high, believe it or not, at almost $700 million. But we have been watching this thing slowly but surely drop down. We have been watching this thing slowly but surely drop down. So with Bunk, be very careful. If I was to really be looking for a spot to buy in on Bunk, adding it dropping that 0, adding that 0 around that 99 mark isn't a bad spot. But you can see right here at the 91, you could see when we did have this first run up, right, and it got rejected, it bounced right here at this 91. This 91 probably wouldn't be a bad spot. I don't see Bunk going all the way back down to any of these numbers down here, most likely. I don't see it going back down, but I see it probably finding some kind of a spot, either where it's at right now, or if there's more pain around that 91 and kind of consolidating and sitting there until the market really starts to take off again. So you guys be safe out there with Bunk, but in the long run, I think if you're holding on to Bunk, it won't be a bad play whatsoever. So let's see here. Jason said he's getting ready for another discount. There you go, man. We're in a discount. How much more of a discount do you want, Jason? You're killing us, man. How much more of a discount do you need, brother? Just kidding. Real quick, I was looking at the 1 hour. Was it today? The 1 hour. Let me see something here. One of these, the simple moving average, the SMA moving averages, was really showing me something here. And I was kind of, it was either the 1 hour or the 4 hour. Nope, not the 4 hour. Is it the 4 hour? So just looking at this chart right here for Milady particularly, you can see we have this 20-day simple moving average SMA. We are respecting that line. We are sitting above it, but you can see the line is dropping and we're kind of dropping with it, right? The moving averages are kind of trying to find, trying to get to this solid average of where we pretty much have been at. So you're going to see all the lines kind of converging down to where we're at. Now, for a bullish move, we would need to obviously stay above this 20-day, but we need to break this 50-day moving average. That's something that we really have not been able to do. You can see at all this, that one time that we did break, we were bullish, right? And we started having a nice break, but you can see it was quickly dropped, and we pretty much dropped below the 20 and the 50-day simple moving averages. So until we really, that's when you're going to know that we're going to be on our way back up, is when we can finally break these 20 and 50 days and even dare say the 100-day SMA moving average. Until we can really break these moving averages, that, and I mean confirmation, green candles confirmation bouncing above these SMAs, we're still not going to be, we're still not bullish for Milady, right? We're still not bullish, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because this is a long-term play. This is pretty much just giving us more opportunity for us to continue to just DCA and keep lowering our averages, or to keep just adding to our bags. You can see for Bitcoin now, on the other hand, looks bullish. It really does look bullish. You can see, obviously, even from this channel, you can see we are slowly still on an upward movement, right? Even though we've had these dips and we have broke down a couple times, you can see for the most part, we are still on an upward move. And you can see all the simple moving averages are all under us. And that's what's bullish about Bitcoin. That's what we need to see for Milady. We eventually will, right? We eventually will. We know how it's going to go. But for right now, let Bitcoin get its shine. We need Bitcoin really to start breaking out. And I think as we get closer to Monday, because this week is going to be a big week as far as this acceptance and decline, as far as the ETF, we're going to probably see maybe some more volatility like this, right? Until that word gets out that it was either accepted or not accepted, we're going to see probably something like this most likely build up towards Monday. Most likely. The charts are saying that we're probably looking to have some kind of a move up. You can see we are above all the SMAs and we are bouncing above this 20-day easily, right? Real clean. We're kind of bouncing and just going parallel with it. So I think eventually, most likely, if nothing crazy happens, we're probably going to see some more retesting of this 44.8, basically that $45,000 mark that we've been rejected multiple times, and maybe breaking through at some point up until this decision time for the ETF. And like I said, I deleted my drawing. It was very sloppy drawing, but you guys remember what I put down, right? Let me see here. So I'm still anticipating that we're going to see something like where we break through. We're going to come up to around the 48. Oops, I didn't mean to finish my drawing there. Come up towards the 48 and do some kind of a sell the news kind of thing. Now, you guys know what I said before. It's all about where we come down. It's about where we come down. Not really focusing on this initial pump, right? I'm not focusing on this initial pump. It's going to be great whenever we do, grab that pump and we do go up and test 48,000 or somewhere around there, right? Could maybe be a little bit before, or maybe even pumps past. Maybe we get up towards 50, right? But I think there's going to be some kind of a move like this where we bounce up on this initial run with the ETFs if we do get approved. And then I'm thinking following the approval, there's some kind of a sell the news. And what I'm focused on is where are we going to bounce? Where are we going to find support? If we can find support above this 46 mark, we'll call it, pretty much where we hit our head, around that 45,900, let's just call it 46. If we can bounce somewhere around that ballpark, that's where I'm saying we're going to be very bullish, very, very bullish as far as that bounce. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. So we'll see how this plays out as far as, us getting closer towards these next few days. But I think we're going to see most likely a run with Bitcoin is what the charts are telling me, and what history usually says. With something like this, a big catalyst like this, usually there's a big run up and a sell the news event, but we're not worried about that. Hopefully we bounce at that 46, and that'll pretty much bring all the altcoins with it. I don't think that, if we go up to 48, I don't see Milady jumping back up to these local highs that we just made, but we'll definitely be bouncing back up and starting our way back up so we can start tackling these support. They were supports, but more now they're going to be resistance, right? Now we got to go through all this again, but we will. You guys remember this initial pump was only about 7 days, right? This initial pump was only about 7 days, about a week. So it doesn't take long, doesn't take much, and this really was a little baby pump compared to what we're going to be seeing here in the future. So everything's still on par. For right now, Bitcoin's looking very bullish. Milady looking bearish for right now, but that's perfectly fine. Giving you perfect time to add up for you to get those paychecks in. Not financial advice or anything like that, but just kind of making sure you got your finances set and you guys can continue to add to your bags like I've been. So let's see here. Clayton's in the house. What's going on, Clayton? Pierre, what's up, brother, man? So he wants us to look at. I'm gonna go by because I missed everybody's questions here. Jason was saying get ready for another discount. We read that one. Di was saying on Coin Market Cap more address holders. Nice. And Pierre was saying, can we look at Augie and New? So let's look up Augie and New. If we're let me move Milady right here. If this is not on TradingView, I'll move it over to the DeFi, which that brings me to, I just bought into a new DeFi project. I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. Augie and New. Oh yeah, we looked at this. That's right, we did look at this, Pierre. So Augie, I don't remember what we said about Augie. I don't remember exactly what we were saying about Augie. I should probably write some notes and start doing drawings so whenever we come back and be like, oh, yep, see? This is what I was saying. I don't remember particularly what we said about Augie, but couple things off the bat is the price right now is under all the SMA simple moving averages. So a lot of times that is slightly bearish, so be very careful. You can see right here, it's pretty much trying to break above this SMA. This is the technically your 200-day SMA simple moving average, and you can see it is testing that mark right here. This right here is going to be your actual 200-day moving average, and you can see it is above. It pretty much bounced. I mean, it broke a little bit below, but it was short-lived on this really big red candle, right? But I mean, for this project, you know, for the most part, I'm looking at it, you know, it right now wouldn't be a particularly terrible time to buy in, right? Because it is down and out. But I would just be very careful. I don't know anything about this project whatsoever, you know, so I can't tell you, you know, like with confidence as far as what I believe with this thing. But I would just say you're coming off of this local high right here, right? You can see we broke a couple of spots. Most of these major spots, the SMAs are all above the price right now, meaning that's bearish. You want to see these SMA moving averages below the price, right? You want to see us bouncing off these moving averages. That's going to be a bullish move. So for right now, if I was to say possible more pain, right? You might do some more retesting, maybe at the 786 right here at the 19, or right below that 19 at the 18, you might see you bouncing at this 200-day moving average. It might stay where it's at right now. I mean, it doesn't look like it's really doing much right now, but just with the fact that these SMAs are pointing down, the price action did just get hit pretty hard. I would say just be very careful. If I was sitting in this project, I got diamond hands, so I'm holding, right? But I would maybe look for a couple key spots to maybe bring my average down, being this 200-day moving average around the 18.5 to the 786 at the 19. I would wait for a move around there, which you might see here soon if it is sitting right above this 200-day SMA. If this thing breaks, you're probably going to be coming back down. So be very careful with that one. And let's see here. Flip Coins was saying, look at Myro. Myro, bro. Is that the coin Myro, bro? Just kidding. It's Myro. Myro, bro. Moving. It's moving. It's definitely moving. See how all the SMAs are, all of them are down. They're pointing up. The price is above it. Right now, obviously, it's looking bullish. It's most likely, you can see we did make this local high right here at the 9.3 cent. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes in the next maybe day, coming to retest this 20-day moving average right here. Most likely would be somewhere around the 6.5 to 7 cent mark. Wouldn't be surprised, and it's already sitting at the 7.7. You can see it pretty much bounced already at the 20-day SMA. So as long as this holds this 20-day moving average, it's going to be bullish, and you could see possibly another run. Another thing too you have to be careful with is looking for, you see how it did this, it could form some kind of a double top. So be careful. You know, maybe if you did buy at the bottom, you caught this thing at the bottom, maybe look for taking some quick profits and maybe looking to reposition yourself. Obviously not financial advice, but if you start seeing some kind of a M pattern or a double top pattern form, I would definitely be a little cautious, because you might be coming back down and maybe retesting some of these levels that we did see, like most likely, and we'll put on the chart. So if we ever do come back to this, that's probably going to be a pivotal spot for some support, being that it was a spot for resistance whenever it was on its way up. And that's going to be at the 5 cent mark. So as of right now, I'm not going to say this is exactly what's happening, but I'm going to leave it there. So if we check it in the next few days, we can see if this is going to play out or not. But as long as it's above this 20-day moving average, you might see it maybe like it did. It retested it, but continues to kind of retest that 20-day, but as it's moving up, right? So, but a fairly new project. It looks bullish as of right now. Looks bullish as of right now for sure. So good luck with that one. So Clayton was saying, oh, Michael, what's up, brother, man? Thank you for joining, dude. Make sure you guys hit that like. Hit the like. 25 people in here and 14 likes. Let's hit the like, guys. Clayton was saying market is slow, sluggish at the moment. Low Milady volume. Momentum should return soon. It's almost like he was watching the beginning of this stream. You know, it was like almost like I'm just kidding. That's exactly what I was saying earlier, Clayton, was that right now, for Milady, and not just for Milady, but for the whole crypto market, we're down. The volume is down 36%. We were down just 5 minutes ago at 35. So we're just, as time goes on, 24-hour volume it continues to increase, because a lot of people are just sitting on the sides. You know, they're not really buying in on any projects because there's not really any kind of big dips going on today. All your favorite projects are really just sitting dormant right now. So, but I will say the only difference between like some of the major projects and maybe something like Milady, even Bunk, they did make local highs, but you can see since they're meme coins, and especially Milady has such a small market cap, the drop that we've had in the last week or two has been more dramatic. So even though that it is like flatline today, it's still good price action to continue to add to your bag, right? Because we've moved down so much in the last few weeks that we're given this opportunity right now. You know, you guys know how crypto is. Crypto, we could be where we're at right now, and then a week later from now, Bitcoin could be at $62,000, and you know, Milady could be on its way, moving right back up. And you know, we're all sitting here. Even I'm gonna be on. If that scenario played out, even I would be on here live telling you guys, why the hell didn't I continue to buy more? Why was I not buying more? You know, so it always happens like that. So, Sean, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Amor, what's going on, brother? Let's see. So, sup all can only stay on for a minute, but there's a real popular YouTube called Larry Jones who is very good at trading, is saying Bunk is a sleeper for this bull run. Something to think about. Yeah. Definitely. You know, I was just telling everybody, I said Bunk is going to be probably a big player in the meme coin realm for this next bull run for sure. And the only reason why I really think I keep saying Bunk's going to probably be a big player, as it's going to be one of the big contenders, is because it's backed by the Solana ecosystem. And that's why I guarantee this other person saying the same thing is because Solana's DeFi has been going absolutely nuts, right? And they're anticipating that Solana is going to continue, you know, after this little cool off, it's going to continue to move up and probably make new highs, and it's going to bring its ecosystem with it. Bunk is on the #1 ecosystem right now, so it has that behind it. It's going to have that hype, and a lot of eyes are going to be looking at something like Bunk, especially now that Bunk's market cap has moved down so much in the last week or two. So you guys can see when we were mapping Bunk, this thing just a week ago was at $1.3 billion. It's gone down almost 50%, right? And you guys, we've hit that spot, like I keep telling you guys, where it just added a zero and it was very short-lived and you saw a spike. Look at that spike immediately after it added that zero. But it can't hold on. You can see it made that spike, but now it's going right back down to possibly retest that spot again that we have on the chart, which is going to be around that 99 mark. So that's why I'm just telling everybody, be careful, because Bunk might have more room to move down. The market cap is still so freaking high for this particular meme coin. But you know what meme coin is not high as far as market cap? Can you guys take a guess? Milady at $40 million, bro. $40 million. $40 million. this is when you know we're almost at the bottom right here. When you see these people that have been in the crypto market for like a month, I'm bearish on ladies. While pump and dump coin and rug pull. You know why I dissect this comment, right? Everybody has their right to have an opinion, but this person is not familiar with crypto, and I guarantee you the reason is because, or the reason why I can point this out is a rug pull. He doesn't even know what a freaking rug pull is. He's just going off of what he's heard. A freaking rug pull is when you pull all the liquidity out, right? This is idiocy right here. This is just dumb, honestly. And I'm not calling him dumb. This comment is dumb. And this person is emotional, and he's probably down on his money, which it is what it is, bro. But he's probably going to sell, or he already sold, probably at a loss, and now he's going to sit here and try to FUD a project and be pissed about it, right? It's the name of the game, but you can easily read this comment and it will tell you that this person is not familiar with crypto. People that cry about like what we're in right now, these situations that we're in where it's really nothing, right? This guy probably couldn't have survived a year ago when we were in a bear market and the exchanges were collapsing, you know, and Bitcoin was down to $15,000, you know, and your favorite altcoin was down 90%. This guy couldn't have survived. He would have probably jumped off his local bridge, most likely, right? Now that he's in, he thinks that we were, as of 2 weeks ago, we were shooting right back up to the moon, and he thinks everything just goes straight up, you know? So this is the type of person you can't even really take seriously because they haven't been around for a while. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Clayton was saying, hold on here, let me back up. So Sean was saying, I'm going to make a meme called Elon Butt Nuggets. Hey, if you have a catchy name like Cock Inu, you might actually get some people to jump in on the project, right? I think people, they don't take it seriously, and they're not, you know, they don't put in like their whole freaking savings, but they will put in money on shit like that because it's just hilarious. And it's catchy, right? And you remember, we're all these meme coins and all these projects, they're all just ran off of hype, right? So if you can get a catchy name. Now let's see here. Clayton was saying, I doubt it can be a rug pull when it's listed on major exchanges like Crow. Exactly, dude. Remember, we always talk about this. You know, for a project to be listed on major exchanges, not on your DeFi, but your major exchanges, they have to go through an extensive checking, right? Where they have to make sure that they can't, because you imagine if a rug pull happened on like Binance or Coinbase or even Crypto.com or any of these major exchanges, it would be so bad for the exchange, right? They would almost have to be liable because of the fact that they're exposing their users to that. So exactly what he's saying, what Clayton was saying, this whoever this person is, and I'm not talking like trying to be like you're dumb or anything. No, the comment that you made is dumb. But I understand where you're coming from because you're emotional. You're emotional. You're down on your money because you probably are investing money that he's thinking was going to blow up in 5 days, right? We don't want people like this in our space. We really don't. So we want him to sell and just move on. Go move on to another project that's pumping right now. Buy at the high, and he rinse and repeat. He'll do the same thing, rinse and repeat. But if he was watching this channel, he would have bought in on Milady 7 months ago. And even though Milady has seen this drop, he would still be up a massive amount, right? Because at the end of the day, remember, Milady still is up 172%, right? We're still up 172%. And we're going to continue to keep moving up as we get into 2024 and this bull market really gets ignited. So it is what it is with some of these people. You know, you got to just let them be. I'm telling you guys, I encourage you guys, don't ever, if you're ever like on a chat and these people, don't talk, like, don't be mean to them, right? Because they got to learn. You know, don't be mean to them. They got to learn, but, you know, maybe you can explain, but a lot of times it's just like they got to go through, you have to go through the experience for them to learn, right? And his experience is going to be him selling, being upset, and then coming back 6 months later and looking where Milady's at and seeing that he's sold, and now Milady has literally gone up 3 or 4x or whatever the case may be, right? In the next 6 months. And that's when he's going to really freaking realize, he's like, shit, you know what? Maybe the people, maybe long-term holding might be the way instead of trying to time the market. Or next time I'm not going to use my freaking rent money, and need my money back in a week. And Sean was saying also, oh, excuse me, I had to crack my back. Sean was also saying, plus Milady's always will put new information and about the new NFTs consistently interacting. 100%. Milady's, I'm not worried about a rug pull whatsoever for Milady's, right? Whatsoever, I'm not worried about it. Real quick, going into the DeFi space, who is invested in Corgi AI? Who is invested in Corgi AI? Actually, is looking like it finally found a bottom. Sean, you're good, brother. You're good. So Corgi AI, we've had a lot of people come in and talk about Corgi, and I was pretty much saying, this is one that I freaking missed. I was very pissed. I was looking at Corgi when I was back here, and this was before we saw this initial pump in the whole market. And I was like, man, this looks like this could be some kind of a big move right here. And I was like, I should just throw a few $100s in it. And I go to check like a week later, and it was actually already pumped up like hundreds of %. And I was like, well, missed that one, not knowing that it was about to move up another like 1,000%, right? So, but you guys can see, look at the M pattern, this beautiful M pattern that it did form, right? This beautiful double top, and you can see from there on it did trickle down. Now, did it make a bottom? Who knows? But I will say, from that M, you can see that we made a W pattern right here. So a M, usually a double top, is gonna be towards the downside, right, when it plays out. And a W pattern is going to be the opposite. You're going to see a W pattern, and usually you'll see towards the upside. And you can see that Corgi is starting to try to make its way back up. Corgi has really been making a big move. This is another project that I was saying as we were kind of around this area to be very careful, because the market cap was up to like $700 million. And I was just telling everybody, be very cautious, because you have a lot of people sitting on massive profits. And at any time, all it takes is a few big sales, and it just starts this cascade event of people selling off because the price is just moving down, right? And that's kind of what we saw. We didn't see major drops, but you saw just a gradual move towards the downside. So it did bottom at this 14. I did put this blue line right here. This was going to be not only a spot for some support, but it was also going to be a spot where I was maybe looking to add to my bag, or not even add to my bag, but to buy in on the project, right? But it hasn't hit that since. So I'm not even upset, not worried about it whatsoever. I actually been buying on other stuff, and I'm going to show you some other stuff that I am buying on as far as DeFi. And Rawls came through with the £2. Let me tell you guys, Rawls always comes in, and not that everybody supports the channel, right? But Rawls always comes in and drops that super chat on him. And I appreciate that so much, Rawls. I really do. I thank you so much for not only being here, but also financially supporting the channel. So thank you so much, Rawls. And if you have any questions, you already know, ask away, brother, man. I definitely will dedicate some time on any questions that you have, just like anybody else in here, right? Because we're all family. So thank you again, Rawls, for the £2. I really appreciate that. So let's see here. Midwest said 51 billions. Ladies over here holding on tight. Gotta hold your girl tight, Midwest, right? Gotta hold her tight and don't let her go. Where are you going? Come here. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But you do gotta hold them tight sometimes, right? And just show them, give them that manly grass and be like, hey, I love you, girl. My baby. I love you. Ay. We need the chart flipped. Sean, we will. We'll see that soon, brother. Just be strong. We definitely are. And Dai was saying altcoin MK hasn't chat loop up to Bitcoin. I didn't understand that one, Dai. Sean said, and all it takes is somebody to reach their goal. Exactly. And Clayton was saying, hit that like button. Hit that like, guys. What are we at? 26 people in. 16 likes? Yeah, 16 likes. Hit that like, guys. Hit it, hit it, hit it. And let's see here. Sean says, we all DCA anyway, so it's so beneficial for us, in my opinion. Definitely, bro. Especially at these price actions that we're at. I know it's just been so boring, right? It's been so boring, but telling you guys from experience, we're gonna see the light again. I'm telling you. And we're gonna be happy that we all dollar cost averaging, or we're all gonna be broke as shit, right? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Because we're investing money that, you know, at the end of the day we can let it sit there and we have the time to wait. So now real quick, a couple things that I did buy in on for. This is gonna be for Chronos ecosystem. I did buy this project right here, which is it's been down and out, right? But this thing just popped up like 17 days ago, and it's called Cat Wife Main. But it looks solid, right? Market cap's only at $18,000. So I was like, you know what the hell, I'm gonna throw in, and I threw in like $200 into this project to see maybe if this thing will blow up. Again, this is on the Chronos DeFi, and you can purchase it by going on to your Chronos DeFi wallet and going into MMF Swap. And basically what you're going to need to do, because they are a legit project, but they're still in the creating mode where they're not listed yet on MMF. So what you would have to do is basically if you go on the DEX screener particularly, you can look and copy their wallet or their the coin address. You would copy this, and then you go into MMF in your DeFi wallet, and you can, when you go to the swap, it's going to have a search bar. Just paste the project's whatever you want to call this, right? The address, yeah. So the address, you're going to want to paste the address into the search bar, and it'll pull it up. It'll pull the project up, and then you can basically, you know, go from there as far as what you want to do. But little project, high risk, right? But market cap is so low. And one thing that I was intrigued about was that the total liquidity is all locked up and it's been burned, right? So it's not going anywhere. Hopefully this thing will continue to move up. These are the projects that you can see whenever we get into these DeFi, you know, seasons and stuff like that. Some of these projects, if you buy them now, they're dormant, but whenever we get into the DeFi season, these things will freaking shoot up out of nowhere. I did it last DeFi season. I picked like 10 coins and threw like $100 each, and like 5 out of 10 of them all blew up, and I'm talking about like 20x. Some of them were insane, where I had so much crow in my freaking DeFi wallet from all the DeFi projects that I bought in like a month before it all blew up, you know, and I was just going through the list and just like, that one, you know what I'm saying? Like just going picking, and it literally, they all blew up. Not all of them, but you know, a big chunk of them did blow up, and it literally paid for any loss that I took like times 100. So definitely look out for that. So let's see here. So just to recap what we were looking at, and if you guys have any projects you want to look at, now's the time. Bitcoin, we're anticipating some kind of a nice pump, probably getting towards this week. Most likely, if it plays out and we get accepted for this ETF, I'm calling for a $48,000 Bitcoin, somewhere around there. Don't quote me if we go to 47,800, you know, but somewhere around there. I'm thinking we're going to have some kind of a spike and then sell the news event, but I'm more worried about where we bounce. Hopefully we bounce at this 46,000 mark, because that would be setting us up for a very, very bullish 2024, in my opinion, right? Milady, real quick, want to point out, so for Bitcoin particularly, the simple moving averages are all, you know, they're all basically abiding by the price action right now. And you can see this 20-day particularly, we have been bouncing off of. So I'm anticipating that we're going to probably see some kind of an upward move as soon as the volume for the whole crypto market starts to move back up. I think for right now it's Saturday, and a lot of people, since that big FUD came out a few days ago and caused a big scare in the market, I think a lot of people that would probably be initially be buying in right now, anticipating that ETF is a little bit spooked out and they're kind of waiting. It's a wait game to see if it exactly is going to go down or not. But the reason why I pointed out the SMAs for Bitcoin, and now I'm going over to ours, is that it's a little different for ours, right? We are sitting below all of our SMA moving averages for Milady. So technically you could say Milady right now is not bullish. It's not bullish right now. So in my opinion, as we dip out of this channel, we're technically in the channel right now, but we're right at the line, right? I've been telling you guys, any kind of dips below the channel, I've been just dollar cost averaging in and adding to my bag. The bottom of the channel is about the 55 mark. So you can see we're pretty much right at the mark right here. So if we do see any kind of dips below, that's going to be my spots where I'm basically triggering buys and adding and dollar cost averaging in to my Milady bag as we just continue, to try to chop around in the same spot. So someone wants to look at ICP. ICP, solid project, right? ICP, you can see ICP has a lot of hype behind it, right? This thing has really been opening a lot of people's eyes. Everybody hated on ICP, but not us on this channel. Not us on this channel. We've been mapping ICP since it was at $2.90, and actually before. This is when I initially started buying in on ICP at around $3.30. You can see back here in the chart, I caught these lows and actually rode it all the way up and didn't sell, right? I didn't sell, which I kind of kicked myself because I could have added even more, but I kept buying in even on these dips down here, right? And then when we finally dropped down, you guys can see right here, this was my buy box. We went down to about $2.90 and kept dropping down there, and I just kept adding. I was buying like, 40, 50 at a time. ICP is just adding and adding, bringing my average down, because remember, I initially bought in at around $3.50. So that $2.90 was like a gift from above. I'm just adding and adding and adding. So, because I know the long-term ICP is going to be a big player. Remember, all down here when we were at the lows, I was calling, and you can go back and fact check me on all my videos of ICP. I was saying, these are from months ago, right? I was saying that ICP is going to be a top 15 project, and right now it's at 16 per market cap, right? Now that I've seen such an explosion, I wouldn't be surprised if we at least get towards the top 12 per market cap crypto project. I really do believe that ICP is going to be a big player in this game. So if you're holding ICP, good job. I unfortunately sold at around $10. And I keep telling you guys this story. I have unfortunately sold around $10 because I was anticipating that we were going to have some kind of a retracement. But my retracement, I missed it, was at around $8.50 after I sold at that 10. That would have been my initial probably buyback. But I was watching it when it was right there. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait. Because it was kind of playing out the way I thought. And I was like, well, maybe bounce somewhere around this next fib retracement or around maybe $8. And that's when I'm going to buy everything I already just had, plus all the profits that I made, right? So pretty much doubling what I was trying to do, my holdings, right? It didn't work out. I freaking missed out. And that's why I told you guys, I'm done trying to time this damn market. I really am. If you believe in a project, hold on to that thing, right? Hold on to that thing, because what we just saw, this initial pump for all these projects, was just a little baby step compared to when we get into this bull market. And now I'm looking at ICP, and I'm not hating on it whatsoever. I'll always sit here and tell you guys that I messed up with that sell, right? Now, if we are able to maybe get towards anything under where I sold, I will buy back in for sure. I will buy back in for sure. But if I don't, it is what it is. I've moved a lot of the assets to other projects, some of them being Milady. So, but for ICP, to get back on it, it's been sitting at around maybe $12. It's at $11.89, $11.90, right under that $12 mark. You can see we've maybe double topped right here, and that's why we kind of had a little bit of a cool off. As far as where we're headed, obviously this thing's going to be mooning, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it comes back and retests this fib right here at the 382 at around $11.19. Would probably be a solid spot for some support. It would most likely come because it would be bouncing off of this 100-day SMA moving average. You can see the 50 and the 20-day, it already broke, right? So it technically is slightly bearish as of right now. Now, it's going to come and retest most likely eventually this 100-day. If it can hold this 100-day, you might see it start bouncing back. But if it doesn't, if it's not able to catch that 100-day, like I said, we'll probably see this 382 at around $11. If not, maybe we get back in towards this channel that we were in before this initial pump, somewhere in between the $9.63 and somewhere around the $11 mark, somewhere around there. But long term, very bullish on ICP, and I think ICP is going to make some big gains in this next bull run coming. And all this pump did was bring eyes all over ICP, because I tell you this, not a lot of people were talking about ICP when it was at $2. Now go on YouTube and go look at all your favorite YouTubers, and they've all made a video on ICP. Now that it's pumped up hundreds of %, because they're just like retail investors, a lot of them, where they want to sit there and bring it to your attention after the fact that they've already pumped 500%, right? So be very careful out there with all that stuff. Not bashing any of my fellow YouTubers. Sometimes you just get passionate because something like ICP been sitting there just screaming that this thing was going to freaking just pump, and it was just like, I'm sure those people coming to my channel, they didn't put any comments in, but you guys know the narrative about ICP like 6 months ago. It was like, ICP's a scam. And it's, again, those are those small-minded people that they're not familiar with crypto, right? They think they are, but they're not. And if they really knew what happened when ICP initially started off, it was all manipulation for the price to make people feel like that, to get screwed out of all that, and that's what they wanted to do for ICP, because ICP, if you really look at the fundamentals, there's not really much that's compared to ICP. ICP is in its own lane. It's in its own lane. It's not trying to take out Ethereum or Solana or even Bitcoin, but it's in its own lane, and I think it's something that the crypto market is going to need moving forward. So, for sure. Now, Living was saying, what are my thoughts on XRP? That's a good question. You were like one of the first people, I tell you, that came and actually asked me about XRP. So let's pull up XRP and let's look at XRP and see. First, Midwest was saying, turn up the likes for Milady and for Crypto Fud. Awesome, brother. Yeah, please do that now. Do it. What are you doing? Hit it. Let's see here. We're gonna talk about XRP here in a minute, but let's see here. Craig was saying, bash away so many. Craig, dude, I try to be civilized, right? I don't want to sit there. Sometimes I go to people's channels and I'll look at their thumbnails and I'm like, oh my God, dude, like 100x, and they'll like post a video of like, some of these projects, and I'm like, my God, I'm like, those are literally clickbaits right there. Those are clickbaits, 100%. Now, I'm not bashing saying they have bad material, because I haven't watched any of the videos, but I'm just saying, like, just from looking at the thumbnails, I'm like, OMG, what are these people doing? But it is what it is. Everybody's got their own lane, right? Let's see here. So stay safe. I'm in Cleveland, just waiting for it to kick in here. All right, James. And let's see here. Living. Yeah, no worries, brother. No worries. So let's see here. So XRP. Let me get off the chat and let's look at XRP. So a couple of things about XRP that I will tell you from just circulating the news waves and the YouTube waves, right? A lot of people are not happy right now about XRP. A lot of people are not happy about XRP. And you know what it is that I feel like a lot of XRP people were duped in a way, right? Because XRP's been fighting for its life for the last few years, right? And they were told that when this case is over, XRP is going to win, and XRP is going up to $5, right? Some of these predictions were like just astronomical, as far as like it wasn't even possible, some of these predictions. But I think a lot of people right now are a little upset because XRP hasn't performed the way that they want it to perform, right? Now, do I think that XRP is a solid project? 100%. Do I think that all that court case and all that crap really, exhausted the XRP team as a whole? 100%. But do I think that they're going to bounce back? 100% I do. And I think that anybody right now that's upset about XRP probably shouldn't even be invested in XRP, is what I think. Because again, you get to these people that really, they're just so emotional. And like I said, they were expecting that it was going to be so easy, right? Buy into XRP right before the case. They're going to win, and your $100 is going to go to $1 million. And that didn't happen, right? It didn't happen. But if you look at the charts right now, XRP has been stagnant. It really has been stagnant. That 60-cent mark has been brutal. It's been very brutal. You can see from right now, probably the volume for XRP is massively down compared to when we were around the court case, right? Because this thing was going crazy during all that. You can see volumes down 45% for XRP, and this is really because you just have people. They're pissed, right? You have a lot of people that are basically trying to sell out because they're they can't handle that they didn't become millionaires overnight. And you have the people that are the diehards that are holding on, that have been holding on for the last few years, right? But a couple things for XRP. I think long term, bullish. I think for short term, it has a lot of competition. It lost the hype behind it, right? Remember, we always say hype is the number one driver for a crypto project. I don't care what your fundamentals are. I don't care, what you're going to bring to the crypto table. If the hype isn't behind it, your project's really probably not going to really make big numbers. So for right now, the hype has moved to Solana and some other projects like ICP and stuff like that. Doesn't matter. Honestly, what I would say, if I was very interested in XRP, which I am, I am interested in purchasing XRP. I never got into any of this crap because I just didn't want to play the market or anything like that. But I did want to buy in when it was down here flatline. I did, but I couldn't buy in for any of my jurisdictions because everything was frozen, right? Coinbase, you couldn't buy it. Any other exchanges wouldn't even list it. So after the fact, it got listed. It was already on its way. It was blowing up, so I stayed out of it. But now, if I was looking at some numbers, if we are going to have somewhat of a cool-off, I would say it ain't getting to 28 cents. I'm going to say that right now. Now that I just clicked that, it ain't getting down to 28 cents. I guarantee that. But even where it's at right now, at the 50-cent mark, 56-cent mark, that's a solid spot, I think, for some entries. You did see this massive drop whenever we had the whole market kind of crash, and it dropped down to 50 cents. And I was going to say, I think the 50-cent mark is probably going to be the line in the sand that it's going to hold, right? And if it does, for whatever reason, if it did break that 50-cent mark, because you can see it pretty much bounce a couple times, and for sure this last time after this giga dump is where it found its support. That would be a spot that I now that I'm going to keep an eye out on and possibly add to my bag somewhere around 50 cents. But long term, XRP, bullish. I think XRP is going to come back into the spotlight and give the team some time. They got to rebuild. Right? So I think XRP is going to be a big player. They already are a big player, but I think they're going to rebound for sure. And Rawls was asking, what about HBAR? HBAR. You guys know the story. I always tell you guys, I have a friend that's like a diehard for HBAR. Dude is like a diehard. And he's always like, did you buy in yet? And I'm like, no, not yet, bro, not yet. And he was like, he's like flipping out because he was telling me to buy in at like 4 cents. And he's like, I told you. And I'm like, bro, I understand. I was like, I had all my money was everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had millions of dollars to sit there and just spread it across everywhere, but I don't, dude. You know what I'm saying? I was heavy on ICP, telling him about ICP, and he was heavy on HBAR. So we both win, right? Because both projects are doing great. So for HBAR, like I was telling you about my friend, HBAR has it's almost like a cult behind HBAR, right? These people that are with HBAR are like diehards. Pretty much with XRP as well. But HBAR particularly was down and out for a while. It wasn't a lot of big price movement. Stayed around this 3 to 4 cent. Maybe would spike up to 5 cent here and there, but it would be short-lived. Well, you can see we did make a local high at around 10 cents, which really opened up the eyes for a lot of people that HBAR was here. And you can see as of now, looking at the SMA moving averages, you can see that they're all pretty much above the price. Besides this 20-day, it did break, right? So I wouldn't be surprised, maybe short term, we kind of go and retest this 50-day SMA somewhere around the 7.5, upper 7, maybe around 8 cents possibly, and that would be a pivotal spot that we're going to look for to see maybe of solid bounce on that 50-day SMA. If we can get that bounce, I think we're going to be back in the races and moving back up towards these local highs again. But in the long run, same thing like I said for XRP and ICP. HBAR is building on its ecosystem. It's a solid project. It has a beautiful community behind it. So I think long term, this project is going to do great in this next bull run for sure. So I think HBAR is a solid project. And right now, looking at it, still looks very bullish. It's just going through a cool off period where I think, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we get somewhere closer towards this 7.5, maybe 7.7 cents, somewhere where it's at right now. It could have already found the bounce, but maybe getting closer towards this 50-day and finding some kind of a support around there before it wants to bounce again. But if we do break that 50-day, that's when we're probably going to be talking about maybe somewhat of a bigger cool-off period, maybe bouncing somewhere around this 0.5 at around the 7.3. And then the 618 will always be, you can see we hit our head on the 618 multiple times, and that would be around the 6.5 cent mark. But as of now, I think honestly HBAR is going to be good. And as we continue to move into 2024, all we're waiting for is to see what Bitcoin's really doing. And I think a lot of these projects are just waiting to take off. I think a lot of them are just all waiting to take off. So, I mean, we can sit here and look and keep looking at most of these bigger projects. They're all going to do great in this bull market. It's the question is which projects are going to do better, right? Which projects are going to do better? And, you know, like I keep telling you, it's really going to be the projects that have the hype behind them. You know, that's going to be the number one thing. And also, you're going to see a lot of these small cap projects explode. Some of these projects that we aren't even looking at that are, you know, $100 million that are probably going to jump up multi-billion dollars in this next bull run. It happens every time. So Clayton was saying some of these YouTubers are damn annoying and just dishonest. Look at, I won't say their name, and his $100 Luna Classic BS, which will never happen. Anything to get clicks. You know, what's his name? I think is it Vision Pulse? I think his name is. He's a smaller time YouTuber, but he's a solid guy, right? I think a lot of you guys watch him, and he's always putting out videos, and I respect him. He's a good TA. I actually watched a lot of his videos before I became, you know, interested in making videos on YouTube. So I always will pay homage to him. And he's always saying, talking about 1 cent Luna Classic. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's more feasible than saying, you know, $1, because I believe the circulating supply for a Luna Classic is like in the trillions, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's something astronomical. So for it to get to $1, obviously, it would need every human being in Earth to basically put all their money into Luna Classic for it to go up. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I think a lot of people, they'll put out these freaking they'll put out these projects or these thumbnails, and you know, they just want to bring you to their channel. They want to bring you to the video, and then maybe when the video starts, maybe they're not, you know, because there's no way you can sit there and say that like something like that, or even say like Milady is gonna go to $1. Like, you guys imagine if I posted a video about that, Milady's going to $1. Like, I couldn't even sleep good at night making a video like that, knowing that I just literally lied through my teeth. You know, like, that's just insane. But yeah, Vision, he would be somebody I in the future watch. I'll probably do some collaborations with him. You know, I that's what I want to do it later on, is really, because what I want to do is bring to you guys different points of view, right? That's why I always like channels that always will have multiple people, you know, on their channel. They'll bring them in even as guests, stuff like that, because it's always good to get, even if they disagree, it's always good to get multiple opinions on whatever, if it's the whole crypto market, your particular projects, whatever the case is. It's always good to get those different opinions, so you could kind of maybe find a medium point between maybe him and I, and and figure out what's best for yourself, or maybe it changes your view on something, right? Clayton was saying, yeah, I watch Vision every day. He's pretty good and honest. He times the bull market in his charts. He lives here in Canada. Oh, really? He's from Canada? Nice. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me, because that boy needs a tan, and he's up there in Canada. I know you guys don't get a lot of sunlight down here in Florida, so maybe one day I'll have to bring his ass down to Florida. You can get a tan. No, but he's got a solid channel for sure. Shout out to Vision for sure. Well, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Or not. So really, real quick. Let's see here. Beer was saying, laugh aloud, call him fat boy. He loves it. He's honestly not fat, though. He looks like he's always out doing those walks and stuff like that. So he's definitely, I don't think he's he's not overweight. He doesn't look like it, but so real quick, Milady, we are sitting kind of at the bottom of this channel. Like I said, I am looking for any of these spots where we do break below this channel. Anything under 55, pretty much anything under where we're at right now. We're at the 55. If we do break down to the lower 50s, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in for Milady. Remember, guys, this is a long-term play. Nothing to worry about here. Nothing to see here, but some massive gains whenever we do get into this bull run. Still in play. I think that Bitcoin's going to maybe see some kind of a move towards the 48,000 as we get closer towards this week, maybe this week coming up, if the ETF is approved, right? If the ETF is approved, I think we're going to see some kind of a big move, and then maybe a sell the news. It's going to be more where we bounce, right? If we can maybe break this 46 and then find it as some kind of support, that's going to be a very, very bullish thing for not only Bitcoin, but for the whole crypto market, right? Remember, while we're here, guys, Milady's market cap is so low. This thing is so new. She's only like 8 months old, 9 months old. She's a little baby in the crypto market, but she's going to be a young lady here soon. She's going to be a woman, and she's going to have all of us that brought her up, right? So you guys remember what the long-term play is. We're buying now, and we're going to hand over all our Milady to all the people whenever the hype is up and Milady's up multi-billion dollars, right? We're going to sell all our stuff to them at a 10x, 20x, 100x. So that's the game plan. We're sticking to it. Other than that, guys, you guys be safe out there. Have a great Saturday night. It's been great, guys. We'll be back on here tomorrow. I got football. Got my Tampa Bay Bucks. Got to make sure we get into the playoffs, which we have not been doing good this year. But at least if we can get into the playoffs, we'll see how it goes. So we'll probably have the stream after the game, like around 4 or 5 o'clock. So. But other than that, guys, again, I thank you guys so much. Rawls, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you again, brother. I really appreciate that more than you even would know, all right? You guys have a great night tonight, and I will see you guys soon, all right? See ya.